In the midst of spooky season, we gotta talk about a spooky movie. Spooky. Good Boy. Not to be confused with the 2003 Nickelodeon movie or whatever. So Good Boy is an indie horror movie made by Shudder that is told from the perspective of a man's dog. Basically, Guy and his dog move into this rickety, creepy ass house, which he inherited from his grandfather, and then the scaries start happening. Sounds happen in the middle of the night, and it's playing off the cliche in horror movies where the dog senses something before the people do, because that happens a lot in scary movies. From there though, unfortunately, the movie proceeded to put both me and Babe to sleep. Because really, not a lot happens in this movie. Yeah, I'll start by saying this movie is a swing and a miss. Like, the creator had a good concept, or at least half a good concept, of basing the movie's premise around the dog's perspective. That's a neat premise. But really, it's a gimmick. That's what it is. And it's one that the movie relies too heavily on. And I say this as a former dog owner. I miss my dogs every day. I'm a dog person, and I love seeing the puppy on the big screen because the dog's super cute. His name is Indy. And for half the movie, I felt sorry for the dog. I was like, no, not the puppy. In the movie, you see that the dog is scared of whatever's going on here, and then some things will actually happen to poor Indy. I was like, no! Of course, the dog wasn't actually physically harmed during the making of the movie, but the movie was convincing enough. So I really like the dog in the movie. But again, that's the gimmick. If you take that away from this movie, it's really just a generic-ass horror movie, where people get scared and start acting weird and then the creepies happen. Nothing you haven't seen before. And I mean really generic too, to the point of being really boring. The creepy, scary things that happen in the movie, they're never really touched on because the movie's really simple. It was made on a budget of like $5. It's a really small indie movie. The cast really consists of the dog and his owner, who you don't even really see his face a whole lot of the time, but he starts acting weird and you see the dog's reaction to his owner acting weird. But for most of the movie, that's just what it is. That's all that happens. It's the dog looking at stuff and creepy-ish imagery, but nothing really happens. There's no real plot progression until towards the end. I guess it's trying to concentrate more on the atmosphere and tone of it, which is generic scary haunted house with creaky floors and hearing footsteps, someone coming up the stairs but looking down the staircase and seeing nobody. All the generic horror movie stuff. And it really drags. I mean, this movie's really short. Shortest movie I've seen in theaters in a while. It's like an hour and 13 minutes long. It feels like an hour 45 minutes, maybe even 2 hours. Because nothing really happens for the majority of it. You do kind of learn some lore about what is going on here between the owner and the house, but you can definitely tell that this movie is made by a first-time director, and it is. Again, I feel like he had a concept and just didn't know how to execute it that well. And given how long this movie is compared to how long it feels, I really feel like the best way they could have told the story was with like a 15-minute short film. This would have been a great short film, like Pixels or something, where it's like, here, I have this concept, and a concept is really all you need for a short film like this. Why it had to be dragged out for another hour, I don't know. To make some box office money, I guess. This movie made $2.4 million in the box office. Not much, but I'm sure it broke even. For a lot of it, it had that weird blue filter too, like from Twilight or some shit. Leave that in 2013 where it belongs. The music, the score was really repetitive. Like whenever the scary stuff happened, you would hear this, I think it was a bassoon, it was like, bah. And maybe they wanted to associate that with the scary stuff happening for us, the audience. And sometimes it would bring in these drums, the ba-ba-bum. And we were like, all right, composer, you gotta have something else up your sleeve. It's kind of like this movie in general. This movie is like a one-trick pony that relies on its gimmick to carry it, and that's just not enough. At least it wasn't for me and Babe. I mean, the dog's really cute, yes, and I love dogs, so that's an easy win for me. I wanted to root for the dog to survive, yeah, and I did end up caring about the dog, because it's a dog, and I love all dogs. But everything else this movie has to offer is the most forgettable and generic things I've seen in a while. Generic creepy house, generic owner that's starting to act weird, like Jack from The Shining or something, where he just kind of starts losing his mind. Generic score, generic lighting, there's nothing really here to remember except the dog. I was going to give this movie my neutral rating, though wait until you can see it at a matinee price, but honestly, over the course of me talking about this, I realized that it's not really even worth that. Because in the end, Good Boy is an interesting idea, but that's all it is. It's like this movie teed up but didn't take the shot. Because other than the perspective of the cute dog, the movie's generic in every way and just not memorable. So if you really gotta see this movie, if you're just that curious, then for Good Boy, I will say, wait until you can stream this movie online. I will say though, there's a little thing after the credits that we stuck around for, is the filmmakers kind of giving a behind the scenes look into how the movie was made. And that was actually really cool. Both Babe and I enjoyed it a lot. Because even though we felt the movie wasn't good, you can tell the filmmakers really tried to do something, and that should be commended. Director Ben Leonberg, I want to see your career blossom, and I want to see you rise in popularity. And to be fair, a lot of directors' debuts are not that great. David Fincher had Alien 3. So keep at it, man, because you got all the potential in the world. I'm rooting for you. So Good Boy, have you seen it? What are your thoughts on it? And do you have any scary pet stories? I'm curious, I don't know. Any moment where your cat or dog was like looking at something in the corner at nothing and you're like, what are you looking at? Whatever you might say or think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, Babe's finally getting me into Dungeons and Dragons for the first time ever. The math is intimidating at first, but I'm coming around to it, and I am so looking forward to getting started, because this is really something I've always wanted to do. Peace!